we'll go to you now. Driver number 11 FedEx Express Toyota, our runner-up, Denny Hamlin. As I said, great effort. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it was a good effort. We still just didn't have the speed that we needed. It seemed like same as qualifying. We just don't have all that overall speed. It helped today that the conditions were a little bit worse, and the speed slowed down a little bit because of the sun. So it helped us a little bit. But I feel like we had overcast conditions like we had during practice, I thought we were going to be in trouble.
All right, questions for our runner-up. Raise your hand. We'll come around. Also, we'll take questions upstairs. Name and affiliation, please. We have one right here. David, coming to you.
David Caravello, NASCAR.com. Denny, given how much you guys struggled in practice, are you surprised to be here right now with third?
Not really. We finished second, thank you. But, it's not really. I mean, I felt like we were better than 33rd. We were not a 20th place practice car. Those are all about single one-lap, fast speeds, and we were never really good at that. I've never really been good at that. At getting overall speed out of the car. I said last year in Homestead after we won that in order to win the chase next year, we were going to have to qualify better. And right now we are just struggling so bad with qualifying, and it takes us the entire race to get to the front. And that's going to be a tough road to travel if we're going to try to win the championship.
Right here, next one.
Yeah, Denny, David Newton, ESPN.com. Two things. Kevin obviously is running away here, but he hasn't gotten a lot of credit for what he's done this year. You consider him a serious threat right now, and the second part of that is I'm kind of glad there's a chase now because otherwise it'd kind of be over.
Well, I tell you, even in that, I don't think that you can put together any 10-week stretch during the course of the year where Kevin has been off. He's always been solid. Even when we had that 10-week stretch where we won all those races, there were a few bad races in between, and I'm sure probably Kevin scored the most points still in that 10-week stretch. So I don't think through the course of the regular season, he has just been really, really good, really reliable, and he's been a guy that's been super solid. So I really don't see how he can't be really the favorite going into it, as solid as performance as he's been, and really not tapered off. He's actually gotten better.
Right here. Here comes.
Lee Spencer, Fox Sports. Can you talk a little bit about the RCR horsepower? You go against those guys week in, week out. They're taking, I heard, 18 to 19 engines to the dyno this week. And, can you just tell me what you expect to find out?
I'd love to see it. We heard that they were coming with the engine stuff this week, so we're not the best out there. I think the RCR camp has the best engines. So we'll see what the dyno numbers say on that. But those guys, they're tough. They really got everything working right now. Their cars are handling really well, and they got horsepower, and that's two things that is tough to beat. So it's for us. We feel like we're a little bit off in our camp in a couple different areas, but meeting with the guys on Monday, and we'll figure out what we got to do to be better.
We have a question.
Denny, it's Don Culver with Florida Times Union. Is one of the beauty of the chase is that you still have 3 weeks to try to get some things figured out with your engines. You're not worrying about getting into the chase. Does this kind of allow you to spend the next 3 weeks working on things and making it a dress rehearsal? Because if you don't win, it doesn't matter.
Well, we're not going to just up and make 50 more horsepower in 3 weeks. That's a long process that happens, and that's not the only place where I feel like we could be a little bit better. There are several different other areas. With our cars, I feel like we could be better. But the key is try to identify what that is. And then relay that to the guys that make the changes. So it's not going to change overnight, and it's not going to change over the next 3 weeks. But we can do some things now to help us maybe for later in the chase. So I've got a list. I've got a list of stuff that we need to improve on, and hopefully once we do, we're just going to be that much stronger.
We're going to go upstairs for a question. Go ahead, please.
Nate Ryan, USA Today. Denny, following up on Lee's question, it seemed like Harvick just was able to gain so much ground on you on the straightaways. Was the horsepower the difference pretty much in the finish?
Well, I was really beating him really bad through 3 and 4. I thought, anyway. He would catch me getting into turn 3, and then I would pull way away through 3 and 4. He was quite a bit better than me through 1 and 2, though, so it was kind of split. But, it's tough when you are the lead car. Of course, you're the one pushing the air, so it makes it look worse than what it probably is because he had the draft right behind me. So that made it look probably a little bit worse than what it actually was. But I definitely couldn't suck up to him like he sucked up to me. So it's it's pretty much all we had.
More questions for Denny Hamlin. Have one right over here.
Mike Muller.net. The pace of the race and the flow of the race was a little strange. Greg Biffle dominated early, and then things with the pit stops got a little screwy. When did you first get a sense of how the race was actually going and the flow of the race and who you had to beat and all that? Was it like the last 10 laps or halfway through or when?
We didn't know really until that last restart with 20 or so to go when I restarted third. We didn't know whether the guys with 4 tires were going to just eat us up or not. So I think 5 laps into that, when me, Harvick, and Tony started pulling away, as I realized it was a three-car race for the win at that point. But really, it just seemed like whoever really could get their car up front was pretty strong. So you lose one spot, next thing you know, your car handles a little worse, and you lose more. So it's just it's a tough balance out there to try to get track position, but you got to have everything working in the right for you to get that track position. And once you get it, obviously the fastest car won today, so it was at least good to see that.
Do we have any more? Right here, please. Coming to you.
Denny, George Poley, the Macomb Daily. Having to come up through the field like you did, what did that take out of your car? What did that cost you, perhaps, at the end?
Well, what cost us the most is we had some electrical issues again with our race team. You can probably look up in the last 2 years how many times I've said that, but we just keep having the same problems, and so I couldn't run any tire blowers, any brake fans, any heat or no AC or anything to me. So that's what really hurt us in the long runs, is not having cool tires, and it beat us today. He beat us with about 10 laps to go. We had about 30 laps on our tires, but so I'm not sure we really had anything for him anyway. But it didn't make things easier when we weren't able to run any fans all day long. So it was a little bit tasking on me to be as hot as I was, but. Once you're up front and whatnot, your adrenaline gets going, and that kind of overcomes things. But mechanically, we need to be a little bit better.
Any more? Okay, Denny, looks like we're clear. Nice day today. Thank you very much.